For only $2, you can just come in and join the ever-growing community that I am building, with new topics being added every day, if not every day, but every so often I will go ahead and add a couple things. But since it is something new, I am gonna keep adding to it and keep building and improving on it. But as of right now, these are the rules. So if you do like the content that I am producing, check it out. The Patreon is linked below. Or if you do want to support me just by giving me $1, that'd be awesome. I do love my dollar.
$1? I've never seen $1. Nobody's got $1. Let us see the dollar.
But with that being said, let's get on with the video. Alright, welcome back. And what we had so far is this. It's just going to the rooms, which is we should start off in the bedroom. And yep, and going to the hallway, and then going downstairs, and going back up, and this is where we start. So what we do want to do is create a pretty much day and night cycle. And I want a GUI up here, be able to click the button, and it changes the day to afternoon, then you click it again, and then night, and then so on and so forth. And then we do have a little button that we can press up here. We will remove this as well, but we will reset the time of day. And then, of course, if it's nighttime, then obviously the bedroom will look like dark, and as soon if you go out here, and if it's nighttime, it should be dark as well. So let's go ahead and get that started. But by the way, I hope everyone had an amazing 4th of July. Mine was good. I was on vacation, so that's why I was skipping out on videos, but I am back now. But so, anyways, that's a whole life personal thing that you probably don't want to hear. So let's go ahead and get this show started. So to get a time of day initiated, I do want to create a game main. So I'm just going to put this under here and just call it game main. Okay, and we will create these, that way the game can find where this is defined and everything. But we're gonna do a game dot timer dot tod, and like I mentioned, we're gonna create files and classes and everything. That way the game knows where to find it. I'm just building it out, what I want for right now. So now that we got this defined, the TOD, which is being called from timer.tod, which is time of day, we want to be able to call the game whenever we click that button that advances the time. We need to come back to this game main to figure out, okay, well, what time is it now? So if TOD is equal to 0, and this will all make sense as the video progresses, we want to change the time of day, which this is called, I believe, where is it called at? Let me go find it. Persistent time of day is equal to day. And persistent, we do want to make this persistent because, let me go change that as well. Yeah, so we do want to make this persistent because if we happen to, let's say, move into the next room, which is the hallway, move out of the bedroom. For example, if we advance the time to afternoon and we go into the hallway, the time of day will reset back to day. So in order to make sure that it's clear across the board, whatever location that we're at, that whatever time of day it is, we need to keep it persistent. That way it won't change on us. Anyways, so let's continue. So 0 is day. Let's do elif TOD is equal to 1. Can you guess what this one would be? Afternoon. And if you feel confident enough on continuing it based off of the numbering order, you should know what is next. Time of day is equal to evening. And LFTOD is equal to 3. Persistent dot time of day is equal to night. Let's go ahead and save that. Okay. Yeah. So then after that, of course, you can have whatever you want. You can change this to morning, afternoon, evening, night, whatever your heart desires. But just have this set up right here. And then from there, we are going to do a player.location.hide screen. Because during this time, we want to hide all the screens. That way the game can refresh. And the other thing that we need to call is a call, which is going to call back the screens. That way the game can go ahead, like for example, call this right here. It's going to refresh this. Okay. And just to show you, obviously, with the bugs and everything, I want to give you clarity of what's going to happen. It should, throw us this, the time of day. Name time of day is not defined. Which you should know why it's not working. Because time of day persistent is not added to it. So always check and find that time of day is persistent. Make sure that is updated. Because going back into it, I know that whenever I run games and I get an error, I would always miss a persistent time of day that I didn't add to it. So always, just going forward, add it to the list. Add it, rename your time of day to persistent going forward. So, cool. Cool. Okay. So, next thing to do is to create the GUI, which is the little button on top. And I want to be able to show the different states of what day it is. Of like the progression of the day. So it's going to be day. It's going to show a bar. The next one's going to be the afternoon. It's going to show a bar. I need to explain it better. Let me go ahead and open the folder. Let me go ahead and do that. That way I could show you what I'm talking about. Give you a clear indication, an idea. Where's my images at? Okay. So again, all of this, I do not own this image. This image was created by Dark Cookie from the Summertime Saga. And like I mentioned, let me pull this open as well. This is also something that he created, but just imagine like the bar, the little bar that's going to be inside these little sections. And of course, there's going to be a button that you can press, and that should deplete this bar as the day progresses. So let's go ahead and add that. That way you know what the hell I'm talking about. So what we need to do is, let me go ahead and open up my the YouTube game folder, which is, of course, whatever folder that you have, whatever game that you have it called. Open that folder, and then go into game, and then go into images. And then what we're going to have is a new folder that I'm going to call GUI. And then I'm going to paste these 3 images in here. Which is going to, of course, is going to be the UI piece time, the skip button that we can press to advance the day, and the bar that will be placed in those sections. You don't have to have it like this, but if you do want it like this, I can go ahead and drop these files in my Patreon page. So if you are supporting me, you will have access to these files if you do want to follow along, or if you want to create your own. Awesome. And cool. Let's get started on this. So the next thing, in order to get those files called, we need to go ahead and first create this. I want to do this, the time of day, the timer.tod. So in the core, I'm going to create another file called day_timer.rpy. And I'm going to do init -6 because I want it to be called first. I'm going to make a class of day timer. Of course, with any class, we do need an init. Define the init of self because it's calling itself. Self._tod is equal to 0. Set it to 0. Cool. We do want to create an at property. Well, property. Oh, whack. Okay. We do want to create, be able to call this TOD. So self return self_TOD. Cool. So now in here, we also need to create, so whenever we click that little button to advance the time, I want to create a function. So in here, I'm going to call it tick self TOD is equal to none. And if TOD, time of day, is none, then TOD is equal to self_TOD plus 1. Because we're advancing the day. If it's not 0, and it's less than or equal to the time of day, or less than or equal to 3, we're going to return it. And then from there, we're going to also do a block rollback because we do not want the player to, once we click the button, we do not want to be able to let the player roll back a previous time. So if it's a day and we click the button and it's afternoon, we don't want the player to go back to that day, back to time of day, morning, whatever. You get what I mean. And then this is going to be self_TOD is equal to TOD. Cool. So this takes care of this, timer.tod. Because this is what this is, the timer. This TOD is being called right here. So now for the timer needs to be inside the game class. Because now we need to create this right here. So in the game class, we want to create a self.timer is equal to, and we're going to call this class right here day timer. Cool. So now with this part of the game class, this takes care of this and this. So now this right here is all set. Okay. Looking at the time right now, and we are hitting that 15 minutes. But I am going to go ahead and continue this up until 25 minutes to make this video as long as possible. So let's go ahead and in the game, I do want to go ahead and create a screen. I'm not going to put it in here because I know game GUI. I want it to be just there for right now. I'm going to make the default TOD is equal to game.timer.tod. And this is where we're going to add in the images. So like I mentioned in the, go ahead and pull this to the side. So in your game folder, whatever your game is called, in the game folder, in your images, GUI, we're gonna call these images. So the first thing I want to call is this one right here. So let me go ahead and grab that name, and we're gonna do add images GUI, whatever that name is, and X position is 441, I believe, and Y position is 2. So that should center it in the middle of the game. And in main, in order to call this screen, I'm just going to do renpy.show screen game GUI. Whoa, game GUI. Let's go ahead and run it. So it should show in the middle of the screen. And it's not. ¿Por qué no? Why not? Why aren't you showing? So, when in doubt, always, and I mean always, click this, force recompile, because if you haven't noticed, if you look back onto the videos, if you go back and like scrub through like the like a previous seconds or so, and you look at the bottom of the time, and it does show like probably a couple minutes passed, more than a couple minutes. I spent a while on this trying to figure out why the hell it is not. The screen wasn't showing up for some odd reason, and I did not click that force recompile button. But yeah, now it's showing. As you can see right there. But anyways, yeah. For some odd reason, this was not showing up, and I think it's because I moved a couple files. Yeah, as you can see the BAK. When I click on a force recompile, it creates these. And I think that was a reason why, because I did not recompile it. Let me go ahead and delete these, because we do not need those. So, yeah. That was a headache. Anyways. So continuing on. I do want to go ahead and add in this little button right here. Actually, no, because I want to add these. So let's add the bars. And that can be done by saying for I in X range. Since there's going to be 3 of them, minus whatever the game.timer underscore TOD. And the TOD, of course, is being called right here, the TOD. Colon. And add the images GUI. And whatever this is called, let me go ahead and grab this. Paste it in there. And the position is going to be... So we need the position of wherever these things are at. So I'm going to do a time pieces positions I. It's going to be right here for the I. And 29. So let's go ahead and create this. Positions. Default time positions is equal to, and it's going to be 554. A little bit to the left, no, a little bit to the right. So 499 and then 444. Okay. So that should create these little blue bars in those little sections. So that should create the blue bars in those sections. So let's see. Yep, as you can see, it creates the bars and sections as we wanted it to. And you can see it stays on top of the screen wherever we go. Cool. And that's being done by having this thing right here, this code right here, Ren'Py.showScreen, and it's being on top of wherever we go throughout the game. Okay. Let's remove this because I don't need that. And let's create a VBox, and I want to go ahead and create a text current time of day, and that's going to be persistent.time of day. I also want to create another text called TOD, which is time of day. And I also want to make sure that we're following this. That way we know that, okay, this is being changed as well. And if TOD is equal to 3, no, wait a minute. Let's do an image button. Idle, images, GUI, and we are going to go ahead and grab this little button right here. Position 507, 46. And that should place the button underneath the bar. Let's go ahead and check that. Yep, as you can see, and then yep, so it's currently day and 0, and wherever we go, it does show that. Let me go ahead and remove that. Let's go to location screens, and I'm just going to go ahead and just remove these. That way we can go ahead and see the text that's on screen. Okay. Where am I at? So now we want to be able to advance the time. So I'm going to create an action button. I'm going to say tick, tick, timer. Okay. In tick timer, I want to go ahead and in the core folder, I'm going to create an actions.rpy file. It's going to be a Python class tick timer. It's going to be a class of action, colon, and of course with anything, create an init self. And this time we're going to reference the tick, this one right here. So in order to call that, we're going to do game.timer.tick. Cool. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab also this right here. That way we can go ahead and clear that screen. And then I also want to go ahead and finally call this the game main label that we created. And we're going to Ren'Py.jump to the game main. Cool. So if we go ahead and launch it, it should throw us an error because we haven't created the functions yet. Yep, hide screen. And as you can see, if we go back to action script, hide screen is not being called. So we need to create this function. Excuse me. So let's go to locations, location, and let's go ahead and create that method. So it's going to be hide screen self colon, and we're just going to do a Ren'Py hide screen. And we're going to do UI, the layer. And then we're going to do a try. And because if it cannot get this, then we're going to do the next one, which is going to be hide screen self.ref, which is going to be the ref screen. So whatever the let me go ahead and go into here. So as you can see, the ref screen it's the bedroom screen, and in this one, it's going to call this screen right here. Where are we at? Okay. And then we're going to throw an exception as well. Exception as E pass, and we're just going to just pass that. Easy as that. And pass. Cool. So the game should work now. Call button. There's no call. Call, call, call. What do we do? What do we do? Call. Okay. So let's create another method called call. It's going to be self. And this one's going to be if self underscore label dot cannot type label. It's going to call that that self dot label, but whatever the label is called. Elif self dot ref. It's going to call screen the self dot ref screen. And then else, if all else fails, we're going to raise an attribute error. We want to know what it is, so it's going to be the class that we want to know. Also the name. Go ahead and put that in parentheses, okay. And I'm just going to say that the object has no valid label or ref to call. And we're just going to pass. Cool. So this should throw an error as well, because I believe I know what's going to come up. It's going to have a label. Yep, the label. Location object has no attribute label. And that's because in the init, this player bedroom, I've gone ahead and added this. The label is equal to player bedroom. It has no idea what the heck this is. So what we want to do is go to our sets right here and just rename it as that player bedroom. Let's go to also script, because I know it's going to know like what the heck is that? What the heck is a bedroom? So let's go ahead and do that. And it should work. Location label. No. What is going on? I think because I have not introduced it as a property. So let's go ahead and do that. Define label as self. If self dot underscore label return self dot underscore label, else return the screen, which is self dot ref. Okay. So now it knows where to look. Location has the label. And transient. What is transient? That's a good question. Let's figure out what that is. Alright, so you ever get the I think I made a mistake. Okay, so let me go back to where it was at. Where was that? Where was it at? So I believe this was in it, and that shouldn't have been the case, because if you go ahead and just push past this, it's going to just be like, whoa, 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 whoa. What this should have been is call. And it is a call function. So let's go ahead, since that's what it is. Since it's being called, it is a call function. And you should get this. So now, when we click this, hey, it's afternoon. Yeah, cool. If we continue it, the background should change. Yep, as it should. And we'll fix this. We will fix this, don't worry. And now it's evening. And if we click this, it's night. Cool. Anyways, this is what we have. And as you can see, it's still here. And as the background does change, this doesn't because we obviously haven't had a night background for this yet. But it does change. Label bedroom. Oh yeah, because we named it player bedroom. Anyways, this video is getting long-winded, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it off here. I will release the next video. If you do have any questions, please drop it down in the comments below, or I have made a Discord, as you saw in the video in the intro. So if you are interested on getting help and everything and have questions, please don't hesitate to look up the Patreon. Support me, and you'll get access to the Discord. That way you can join the lovely community. Anyways, I hope you found this video helpful. And if you did, please give it a like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.